from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello, this is 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm George.
Hello, this is 6 Minute Learning English from BBC Learning English. I'm Georgie, and I'm Phil.
And I'm Phil. Did you have any breakfast today, Georgie, or did you skip it?
Do you have any breakfast today, Georgie, or did you skip it?
I did have some breakfast.
I did have some breakfast.
On
the way to the office, I got myself a pastry and a coffee.
way to the office, I got myself a pastry and a coffee. What
about you?
about you?
I had a
I had a big bowl of porridge.
big bowl of porridge, but it was at 6 o'clock this morning, so I'm hungry again now.
But it was at 6 o'clock this morning, so I'm hungry again now.
And you might soon be hungry
And you might soon be hungry as well.
because
We're going to talk about breakfast.
we're going to talk about breakfast. How
How important is it?
is it? Let's start by hearing from Professor Alexandra Johnston.
Let's start by hearing from Professor Alexandra Johnston,
A nutrition scientist
a nutrition scientist who spoke to Ruth Alexander, host
who spoke to Ruth Alexander,
of BBC World Service program, The Food Chain.
BBC World Service program, The Food Chain.
I am supporting the meme, breakfast like a king and dine like a pauper.
I am supporting the meme, breakfast like a king and dine like a pauper.
For you then, breakfast
For you then, breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
is the most important meal of the day. I agree.
I agree. So it's really important, particularly for people who are trying
So it's really important, particularly for people who are trying to
maintain a healthy weight and people who are trying to lose weight.
maintain a healthy weight and people who are trying to lose weight.
Alexandra says that you should breakfast like a king and dine like a pauper.
That you should breakfast like a king and dine like a pauper. Pauper is an old-fashioned
Pauper is an old-fashioned word for a very poor person.
word for a very poor person. The expression means have a big
The expression means have a big breakfast and had a small dinner.
breakfast and a small dinner.
We're going to find out some of the reasons that
We're going to find out some of the reasons that Alexandra and other experts recommend doing this.
Alexandra and other experts recommend doing this.
And as usual,
And as usual, we're going to learn some useful words and phrases.
we'll learn some useful new words and phrases. And remember,
You will find all the vocabulary
you'll find all the vocabulary
and a quiz on our website.
and a quiz on our website, bbclearningenglish.com.
Okay, but first,
I would like to skip the question part.
find out the answer later in the program. Let's hear some reasons
why we should breakfast like a king or queen.
for why we should breakfast like a king or queen.
Courtney Peterson, who researches about eating behaviors,
Peterson, who researches eating behaviors, explains
how the time of day affects how our body processes food.
how the time of day affects how our bodies process food. On BBC
World Service program, The Food Chain.
World Service program, The Food Chain.
And so if you can
if you can eat a large breakfast in the morning,
eat a large breakfast in the morning, or I would even say
I would even say a large lunch in the morning,
a large lunch in the morning, your body's going to be better at
your body is going to be better at metabolizing that food.
metabolizing that food. And what that means is your
And what that means is your body is going to actually
body's going to actually your blood sugar
your blood sugar levels won't spike as high. You might burn slightly more fat.
Sugar levels won't spike as high. You might burn slightly more fat. You might burn
You might burn slightly more calories from eating earlier in the day.
slightly more calories from eating earlier in the day. Whereas if you
Whereas you had
if you
eat most of your food later in the day,
your food later in the day,
your metabolism is actually slower later in the day.
metabolism is actually slower later in the day. So for
instance, if you ate the same, I don't know, bowl of ice cream
if you ate the same, I don't know, bowl of ice cream in the morning,
the afternoon, and the evening,
the afternoon, in the evening, your
blood sugar levels would spike significantly higher
sugar levels will spike significantly higher in the
afternoon and the evening.
afternoon and the evening.
We
We heard the noun metabolism.
the noun metabolism. This is a word that refers to the
Metabolism. This is a word that refers to the chemical processes in your body,
chemical processes in your body,
and we most often use it to talk about those that convert food into energy.
most often use it to talk about those that convert food into energy. And we
we also heard the word form metabolish.
heard the verb form metabolize.
Oh, I'm sorry. Metabolize.
Courtney talked about blood
Corey talked about blood sugar levels spiking.
sugar levels spiking. A spike
A spike is a sharp pointed shape.
is a sharp pointed shape. If you see it on a line
If you see it on a line graph,
graph, it means that something has
it means that something has increased very rapidly.
increased very rapidly. We often use the noun
We often use the noun spike to mean a sudden increase
spike to mean a sudden increase in a
in a value that is being measured.
value that is being measured. The verb
The verb spike means to suddenly increase.
spike means to suddenly increase.
We heard that eating earlier in the day can be healthier for us.
that eating earlier in the day can be healthier for us. Now,
People don't eat breakfast. Sometimes because they don't have time,
often don't eat breakfast. Sometimes because they don't have time,
and sometimes because they're trying to save money.
sometimes because they're trying to save money. Let's hear again from
Professor Alexandra Johnstone
Professor Alexandra Johnston talking to
BBC World Service, the food chain.
BBC World Service's The Food Chain.
Now,
Breakfast skipping is interesting because
skipping is interesting because my own work
would tend to suggest, and that sort of observational,
tends to suggest, and that sort of observational, large
scale
scale epidemiological studies
epidemiological studies would also support this. That people who have a regular breakfast are actually leaner.
That people who have a regular breakfast are actually leaner.
And my own work would tend to suggest that having your largest meal of the day in the morning period gives you a much better appetite control.
The morning period gives you a much better appetite control, which
then means it's much easier to control food intake later in the day.
Means it's much easier to control food intake later in the day.
Alexander starts by mentioning breakfast skipping.
If you skip something,
you don't do it.
then you don't do it.
Bad students might skip lessons, they don't go to them.
Students might skip lessons, they don't go to them. If you skip
If you skip a meal, it means that you don't eat it.
a meal, it means that you don't eat it.
We also
We also heard that people who have a regular breakfast are leaner.
heard that people who have a regular breakfast are leaner. If someone is
If someone is lean, then they're not fat.
lean, then they're not fat.
And one
of the reasons given why people might be leaner
the reasons given why people might be leaner is that they
is that they have better appetite control.
have better appetite control. Appetite control is where your
Appetite control is where your brain decides how much you could eat.
brain decides how much you should eat.
Thanks, Georgie.
Thanks, Georgie. Now,
This is the end of the podcast today. Thank you for listening.